Hey y'all, this is Blake with Finding Favour, and you're listening to TheGroveCast.
Hello everybody, Brian Farmer here once again with another edition of TheGroveCast. Sitting here in my office on the corner of South 29 Road and M55 West, I have Blake Neesmith from Finding Favour, and I can truly again say this is an honor. Thanks a lot, Blake. How you doing?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
By the time this gets out and everybody's listening, this night will be all over and you guys will be well on your way home, if not at home. But tonight is a great night because it's really been a God thing how it's all worked out for you guys to get to come and be with us. You're in the middle of a Michigan tour of churches, right? Coming this way?
Yeah, we've done a full week of churches up here. And so go back home for maybe a day and then we're back at it again, so we're busy right now.
That's a good thing in what you do, though. You don't want to not be busy, right?
You don't want to not be busy, but you enjoy your time home as well, you know.
You take as much advantage of that as possible.
Yes,
absolutely. You guys, you're from Georgia. What town in Georgia?
It's near Savannah. It's called Vidalia.
Okay.
The onions. You ever heard of Vidalia onions?
They make you cry, don't they? Or are they the sweet ones?
I'm the sweet ones.
Yeah, that's good. Well, then you're sweet, right?
Yeah, try to be.
Peaches and sweet onions
That's
down
it,
there.
Man.
That's it. And then, are you born and raised there? Tell me your story.
Born and raised in Vidalia, Georgia, and started leading worship. Grew up in the church. Started leading worship at a small church down there of about 150 people, and started getting opportunities outside of the church in the community and so on and so forth. And eventually started going to Nashville and ran into this guy by the name of Toby Mack. And
just a coincidence.
Ran into him. I was in a writing session and he walked in one day. No
Wow.
clue who I was or just stopping by to meet one of his friends. And heard the song that we were writing and right there offered me a record deal. And the rest is history, you know. And so we started sending music out to Christian radio and making records and going on tour, and here we are.
Man, fantastic. And your songs are to the heart. I mean, we love them. And it's funny because when we started talking, it was just it was a Facebook conversation with a girl in our church, and would say, hey, they noticed that we're taking booking dates in Michigan in June, and they start blowing my phone up going, hey, hello, Pastor, we got to do this.
Now,
I'm
is she going to be here tonight?
Yeah, that's Krista. That's who you've been talking
that's
to
her.
here. Yeah.
Nice. I didn't know that.
She's like, we go, hey, we got to do this. And,
that's cool.
You guys are so accessible. That's the part that really warms my heart because it's not you guys. There's no it's about us, about you guys at all.
No, it's easy to, I guess the word, get unaccessible sometimes. It's easy to kind of hide. And I've been there and have kind of, found some jadedness in that. And it really starts to, in ministry in general, you can start to go to a really dark place and a lonely place.
Yeah.
And so, we were made, for one another and to love one another well. And, if you ever stop doing that, if you ever start just trying to hide and just take care of yourself, it'll get, you can find that dark place. And I've been there. And so I'm really trying to make myself more accessible to people and conversations and things like that,
Well, that's your personality, though, I can tell. And I just met you today. Now, we've had a few text conversations back and forth, but you're in the middle of, you just were selling and buying a house and staying on the road.
All at one time. That was crazy.
Yeah.
I never want to do that again. Now, I've bought a house before. I moved out of an apartment and bought a house, so that was just one-sided. But buying and selling all at the same time?
No, man.
Wow.
Either one of them is enough. And when you're going from an apartment to a house, you can't do that fast enough. It's yes. But when you got to get rid of one and come out of another, and you got timelines and closing,
exactly.
God bless you. I don't know how you're still walking, to be honest with you.
Man, I'm doing it, and I don't know how either. So.
Yeah. But hey, we get to go home. Hopefully by tomorrow you'll be home.
Yeah, sometime tomorrow night we'll be home.
Yeah, you liking the new house? Is it good?
I am. I like that I don't have any projects hanging over my head. We moved out of a 200-year-old house. and it had a lot of projects and just constantly having to do things. And this is a new build that we moved into, and so it's a little smaller, which we wanted, and just got more neighbors that have kids that is our daughter's age.
Yeah.
And so she's not inside watching TV all the time. She's outside playing now, and so
that's good.
We were excited about that.
Yeah. Now you married. Tell me about your family.
Yep. So been married for working on 11 years now, and got a 4-year-old little girl and almost 1-year-old little boy.
Oh, congratulations!
So he'll be turning 1 next month.
Good deal.
And so, or this month actually, we're already in July, huh?
Tomorrow's July, so you might as well say it. Yeah,
So yeah, he turns 1 year in just 20 days. So
oh man, that's
be awesome, man, and get to celebrate that. Just got me a grill for the house, and so I've been grilling a lot. And
good.
We're gonna grill for his birthday, and it should be fun.
Summer grilling is awesome. That's
fun,
the best time of year.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean it's faster on the stove, but not as much fun.
Yeah, it's not as much fun. You don't get that good barbecue smell.
You got it. It tastes better that way, doesn't it? Yeah. I've been using those newspaper smokers. They burn the charcoal, the chimney things or whatever.
That's cool.
That's really good. And the house hasn't burned down yet, so it's pretty good. It smokes a lot, but otherwise it's all right.
Open your windows, huh?
You got it. And your wife what's her name?
Amy.
Amy, wonderful. And your kids' names?
Harper and Hudson.
Oh, that's awesome. You got the H theme going there, don't you?
Yeah.
The group's been together how long?
We've been together since 2005.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So a while.
That's longer than I thought.
Yeah, we were leading worship together and playing, locally since then. But we've been full time for about working on, I guess, almost 10 years now. That's been our only job.
Yeah.
And playing music, and we're blessed, to be able to do it for this long. So and I hope that we get to continue to do it. But it's cool. We all live in Nashville now, and building families and building a life there, and it's awesome.
So you're all in Nashville. So I did that promo podcast here. They say from Georgia. I guess that's not wrong.
No,
you're
we're from Georgia. Yeah, I'm from Georgia, bro.
You're not going to take that out of you, are they?
No.
But you live in Nashville.
Yeah,
Nashville's a beautiful city.
Yeah,
there's a lot of good things to say about Nashville for sure. And you've been on the road now. When you're done here, give us a taste of like what your guys' ministry's like what your goals are, your focus, where you go. Is there anywhere you won't go?
No, I mean we'll do anything, as far as ministry goes and playing. I mean, obviously, there's. We can't just play 175 shows a year.
No.
But we literally we stay as busy as we can be, and we play a lot. But I also speak a lot on behalf of child organizations for poverty and stuff. It's a big part of what we do, and I'm about to go to the Dominican Republic. Been to a lot of different countries, and
cool.
Sponsor kids there and go and kind of get a feel, spend weeks with these kids in their communities. And I'm about to actually go out and speak on tour with Sugarland, country band, for a tour. And then I'm basically, after the end of July, I'm gonna actually take the rest of the year to go speak for these organizations.
Nice.
And so it's just a huge part of what we do. We do it at our own concerts as well, but just have a heart and a passion for these children. Just having kids of my own and just seeing what some of them go through is crazy. And so I mean that's at the end of my days, if I can look back and know that I was a voice for the least of these, in that situation, that's very rewarding for me to be able to do that, because God's blessed me, and so I want to be able to bless these kids. So it's it's going to be a balance act, and I've just really started that. I've been speaking for these organizations for a while, but it just started really kind of balancing it a bit more, where I'm speaking and doing the band thing.
Okay.
And so that will continue. We'll continue to release music and records and tour. But I think I'll also jump on tours just to speak sometimes. And, I get out there and I don't get on stage and say, hey, I'm Blake from Finding Favour. I just make it about the kids. And some people recognize me and some don't. And it's fine. But we're just out there trying to really help these kids. So.
I picked that up about you, and especially after we talked a little bit this afternoon, you're not about yourself. And I believe that's why God's blessing you. We can fall in that, okay, I got to be humble so God will bless me. That's not why you're that way. It's God's blessed me. I want to be a voice for people that don't have one.
Sure.
And he's blessing you for that, isn't he? Absolutely.
Amen.
Yeah, I say a lot. I learned a lot about God when I became a dad.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
That's definitely something, that I just always go back to those relationships, and with my daughter, with my son, and just realize, my love for them and how they are a part of me. And, it's definitely a beautiful connection between the relationship we have with God.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You look at him and you start understanding unconditional love even more.
Yeah.
And then you also know when they get old enough to start making their own decisions and you wonder about it, you're like, And it's not, I'll tell you, and this is for you to talk, not me, but it makes me think, how many times have I said, boy, if that was my kid, and fill in the blank. Well, now I have my kids, and I got beautiful kids, but even if they do something, I wonder why they shouldn't. It's not that way anymore. It's like, well, I can kind of see where you're coming from with that, and you love them through it.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You do. And so you just don't even know until you put on those shoes.
Yeah. So. And World Vision's a huge part of what you guys do.
Yeah.
You've got a table here set up for them, and that's going to be a part, and we're going to talk about them tonight too. So you have a partnership with them then, right?
Sure, yeah. We partner with World Vision. We also partnered with an organization called Food for the Hungry.
Yeah.
And so just different ones, and whoever's in need at that time. And we dig in. The trip that I just got back from Guatemala with World Vision, and I'm going to the Dominican Republic with Food for the Hungry.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
But tonight we are with World Vision here.
That's good. Well, there's a good presence there, and they're a great organization.
They are, man. They do a lot of amazing things.
Yeah,
they really do.
They sure do. For you guys and your focus for your vision, can you tell me, you got the Farewell Fear album that's new. Mm-hmm. Basically, I say it's new. It's your latest.
It's over a year old, yeah.
Yeah. And the first song, I think, Get Down When You Got No Answers, that's a...
Get Down, yeah.
Yeah, I love that song. And
Thanks,
actually,
man.
that's the first one I really heard when I knew it was you. Then I found out Cast My Cares was you guys. And I'm like, I already love these guys before I knew their name, That probably came out of just understanding, listen, we need to pray and seek God in our times of need as well as celebrating, right?
Yeah, man, it's a fun song, and we just started digging in and just talking about how, when I'm up, when I'm down, and just the whole, on the mountains or in the valleys, I get down on my knees and pray, and so it's fun. It's fun. We love playing it.
Where's your heart at right now with the group and what you're wanting to do and where you feel like God's kind of leading you as far as that goes?
Yeah, we want to be at a place, and we talked about it earlier, where we're accessible to people and just to the church ministries that we're involved with. We're trying to do a lot of churches right now and partnering with the churches, going in and having ministry moments throughout the night together. And, I love, we've been doing it last night. We played a few hours from here, and we did an altar call at the end, and I think probably 20, 30 people came down to the altar.
Awesome.
And we've been seeing that pretty often. And that's just, every time we get to that point and people come to the altar, I'm like, man, this is what it's all about. And it just really, really fills the void that I had, about 7-8 months ago. I was just ready to lay it all down and just had this void and had this emptiness, just playing music and then walking out of the room. And I just said, I'm just not going to do that anymore. We're going to make sure that there's ministry involved in this whole thing. And so, we started doing that, and it's just been amazing to see how, and who knows, who knows what's happening after we leave, people
right.
that maybe, got saved, started going to the church, and just creating a life that could, stem into generations. And so it's been amazing.
And that was my next question. You answered it already. I was going to say, not that there's two different bands, but when you talk about, and that's huge for you to be that candid and honest and just say where you were at 7-8 months ago, to be doing what God called you to do and He gifted you to do, and feel like you don't want to anymore because of just how you were feeling. What's the difference in fulfillment in ministry and calling of God in the last few months compared to before when you listened? Because I don't know, a lot of people would have just pushed that aside and kept going.
Yeah, it was so. I mean, I probably for 2 years tried to push it aside, keep going, and I felt that way for a while. It just came down to the point where I was just like, I am so done with this. And I remember calling my manager and just telling him, and he was like, "Yeah, I could have seen that coming." Like, I mean, people knew, they know, they can see it on you. They can smell you before they see you. It's just like it's just one of those things that just creates this aura of just that. And I was walking around in that, and it finally just came to a head, and I just could have easily quit. A lot of people do.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people do, but I really tried to allow myself to keep an open mind and an open heart. And God spoke to me and said, and He opened the doors to continue to do it, And so when that door opened and I saw, I said, all right, God, I'm going to try this out. I'm going to do it this way, this certain way over here. We're just going to give it a month or two, and if I don't like it, I'm just jumping out of the boat.
Mm-hmm.
But it ended up being something that I felt really fulfilled about, and I saw people actually, saying, "Wow, this was so amazing. I got to come to the altar tonight." And just different things like that. And it's not just about the altar call. It's, I mean, just in general, just, having conversation with people and having, not, hiding behind, the stage all day long. And so it's definitely, it's tough. It's tough sometimes because unfortunately there are some people out there that can wear you out. They can, and I love everybody, but just being honest, there's some people that can wear you out. Just,
I hear you.
Constantly, just asking things, and it just becomes something that, just anybody. Imagine being a substitute teacher, and this kid just constantly keeps asking you questions. And so there's times that it just feels that way. But there's nothing wrong. Nobody's doing anything wrong.
No.
People asking the questions, they're not doing anything wrong. It just, when you do this every night, it's easy to get the same questions and you try to answer it with passion, or you try to hear the same stories of somebody saying, "Look, I'm really going through this," and to actually care about it, you have to be in a good headspace.
Right.
And so there was times people would be talking to me, and I'd be looking right by them, acting like I was listening.
Yeah.
And that just really, started eating away at me, and I can't fake anything.
Yeah.
And so I started really just trying to really listen and really care and really, and it just created an amazing dynamic in the ministry that we're doing in my heart,
Yeah. There's a book I remember many, many years ago called Wounded Healer.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of the author, but it was coming from the heart of a minister who said he was trying to give when he was empty.
Yeah.
And boy, it's hard to do,
That's the way I felt a lot. And so it's just been just trying to change my attitude and my perspective and just looking at the positive side of things, that that you're blessed. You get to do what a lot of people wish they could do.
Right.
You get to lead, worship tonight. You get to do it instead of you have to do it.
There you go. And that's what we call it. It's a night of worship. We're leading. You guys are going to lead us in worship. It's not just a concert.
Sure.
If you want to use that word, that's fine. But especially anything to do with the Lord, which can happen to anybody. It happens in church service.
Yep.
It's not entertainment. It's part of it is because, listen, you guys are talented and there's all kinds of good. I don't think there's a problem with a guy that can play the guitar, letting him go and play his guitar. Mm-hmm. Don't make him stand there and play 3 chords and not smile.
Yeah.
Be who you are.
Sure.
But let's do it for the Creator.
Yeah.
Let's do it
Absolutely.
for God. And I appreciate you stopping and saying, you know what, I could keep going, but I don't want to keep going like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're a lot better. How do you? And if I'm digging in your garden, tell me to mind my own business. How do you keep from falling back in that again?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's surrounding yourself with people that can kind of knock you in the head sometimes. I think it's just understanding what that felt like and reminding yourself you don't want to go back to that place.
Yeah.
Just really, and it's different for different people. I mean, for some people it's drugs. Some people it's, addictions and things like that. For me, it was just, I mean, that's the worst thing in the world for me, is to feel empty like that.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing for me. And so, I just never want to feel like that again. And so, you just make sure your perspective's on point. You make sure that, you run from the complaining and run to the gratefulness. And so.
Oh, man, that's good.
Yeah.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
I think it's easy to get wrapped up in what you do instead of who you're doing it for.
Yeah.
And I think anybody in ministry of any type can relate to that.
Mm-hmm.
So, your candidness and honesty is really good. I appreciate that.
Thanks, man.
And I appreciate how you're coming into the church, letting the church be a part of it.
Yeah.
You guys are so humble and unassuming and coming in and just being a part. I mean, I met Aaron in the bathroom today. So, you know what I mean? How many friendships started that way? But I think that's who God uses. He uses real people who aren't afraid to be real.
Yeah.
So you guys are heroes in that respect. So I appreciate that very much.
Thank you.
And we're looking forward to tonight for sure. By now we all know where to find it, but just so we don't get too far ahead, where can we find your music and how do we get a hold of you for stuff?
Findingfavor.com, FAVOUR. But you can also, we're on iTunes, Apple Music, YouTube, Spotify, all those things. So they got us everywhere now, and so we're just blessed and grateful to be doing what God's called us to do. So
we can see that. We can see that in what you do and who you are. I always like to wrap them up, though, when we do these and just ask you, and you've done it, but even if you want to do it more directly, if there's somebody, whatever their walk of life is right now, it can be the non-Christian, the Christian, saying, yeah, I'm done with the grind. This isn't working. Mm-hmm. God's forgotten me. It's not happening. If they're sitting here in front of you right now, Blake, how do you encourage them? What do you offer them?
Well, first of all, it's good that they're at that place, that they are being honest and that they're concerned. I mean, that's the scariest thing, is not being concerned about it.
Yeah.
And
right.
So, just continue to search and continue to ask God to open the doors. I mean, it's the older I get, the more I realize, that we're weak human beings that can't, do what God can only do.
Oh, man.
And so sometimes it's just easy to try to force things into play. I've done that so many times, and just to trust the Lord and understand, that what He says in His Word is true. It's hard for us to believe something. I mean, we hear it and we read it and we choose not to believe it so many times, and just choose to believe and choose to trust.
Yeah, it's the thing when it goes from your head to your heart. I have a lot of things in my head. When it gets in my heart, then it comes out in who I am. And that we just studied in Acts Wednesday night when they were praying for Peter to get out of prison. He shows up at the door, and Rhoda goes to the door, and they're like, "That can't be Peter. He's in prison." The answers sometimes are in front of it. to believe that what you're praying can happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Thanks for sitting here with me. If you don't know what it's like pre-service for these guys, there's a lot of stuff they have to do, set up and stuff. And Blake's very kind to take some time to sit down with me and share. And so I appreciate that very, very much. Blake Neesmith from Finding Favour. And I appreciate your time today, brother.
My pleasure.